Hello, everybody, and welcome to this commentary on Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, Episode 6, released in 1983, directed by Richard Marquand. I'm here today with Jack McCullough, my usual friend and subscriber. So, yes, we just want to point out also, again, this is a fan commentary, this is a non-profit video, we are simply fans, and this time we are fans, commentating on a Star Wars movie that we both love. So feel free to pop in your DVD or Blu-ray, put your timestamp to 0, and come with us to a galaxy far, far away. So, Jack, is there anything you'd like to say before we begin?
Just that this is my favorite Star Wars film. I know that's controversial, but it's always been my favorite, and yeah, just can't wait to rewatch it.
Right, so 3, 2, 1, play.
I do miss this 20th Century Fox fanfare at the start of a Star Wars film. Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away!
It wouldn't be Star Wars without this.
Yeah.
Episode 6
of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
I just love the title. It's just such a cool title for this film. I mean, it was originally called Revenge of the Jedi, but then they changed it to Return.
And then George Lucas just called Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. No, I mean, originally, like, if you watch the trailers for early trailer releases of Return of the Jedi, it's called Revenge of the Jedi, but George Lucas said he didn't want to basically Jedi's don't seek revenge.
I actually think Rogue One kind of benefited without the opening crawl.
Yeah, I mean, there was no point anyway of having an opening crawl to Rogue One because, I mean,
the whole movie is an opening crawl.
Yeah, I know exactly. It just kind of be pointless as well. I mean, if you think about it, the opening crawl in Star Wars is a bit pointless because you already know kind of what's going on from the film anyway. But it's just a cool way to open it.
Yeah, it's a nice bit of preamble just to. And
I like this opening shot, sort of like, I guess it's a nice sort of homage to A New Hope with the Star Destroyer going past and that.
Yeah, what I like is that in every Star Wars movie, at least to my knowledge, they always pan down every time that the opening crawl finishes, or in Rogue One's case, when it just opens, it pans down.
Actually, the only film it didn't pan down was Attack the Clones. It panned upwards.
Oh yeah, you're right. You know, the effects still hold up today, which is impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we're watching this special edition, but
yeah.
but you know, most of these effects are models. Thank God. I mean, I have the original edition as well. You can get it on the limited edition DVD. I bought it in CX like a few years ago. I mean, I actually prefer the special edition of Return of the Jedi because I just prefer listening to that to Yub Nub.
Yeah. Yeah, the music that they went back and recorded was much better. I mean, I haven't seen the original version, but I've listened to the Yub Nub song. It's actually on the Battlefront 2 game. It doesn't sound like it's a climactic. Like, it doesn't sound like it's for a finale. It doesn't fit for the end of a trilogy.
I really love this. I love this shot here where we see the shuttle arrive, Vader's shuttle, and you have, like, I mean, I think the Death Star here looks really cool.
The Death Star coming down.
Yeah. I mean, everything, like,
You may dispense with the pleasantries, Commander.
I mean, I think, you know, I mean, people complained about Vader not being in Rogue One enough, but I think, you know, I mean, we'll get to that eventually, but I mean, that wasn't really Vader's story. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
But does not share your optimistic appraisal of the situation.
His story was in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Then perhaps you can tell him me around.
I don't know, like, Vader's helmet looks a lot more glossy in this film, but I kind of like that. It just looks cool.
Your apparent lack of progress.
We should double our efforts.
It's so cool as well. That I mean, what makes this my favorite Star Wars film as well is the fact that you finally get to see the Emperor. Like, we've been building up to the Emperor in episode 4 and 5, and you know, and then the fact that we finally get to see the Emperor is just great. It's kind of like this film comes full circle as well, because like C-3PO and R2-D2 go back to Tatooine, and well, I mean, there's some interesting deleted scenes for this film that I hadn't seen till recently, where you see Luke build his own lightsaber and you hear Vader talking to him, I think, and then there's actually another deleted scene where that general or that captain that was talking to
Vader.
Yeah, there's a deleted scene with him where like the Emperor basically says if the rebels destroy the shield generator, crash the Death Star on Endor, and he's kind of conflicted into doing that. He doesn't know if he wants to.
Goodness gracious me. R2-D2.
Oh, we're always out of sync, aren't we?
Oh, what bit are you on?
Just when the thing pops out. Yeah.
I'm on that bit as well.
I can see C-3PO gets more to do in this film as well.
Yeah. It's great as well that we finally get to see Jabba. I mean, he's in the special edition of A New Hope, but this is the first time you really see him, like, the puppet version. I mean, he looks great. I mean, a lot of people just say, like, Richard Marquand's direction, like, you could tell George Lucas was behind the scenes, just like telling him what to do. But I mean, I don't see that, to be honest. I don't think his direction is like, you know, like puppet controlled or whatever, like George Lucas.
I love the Gamorrean guards.
Yeah, it was so funny in the Lego Star Wars game where like you could make these, you could destroy these things and then make radios for them to rock to, like.
Yeah, dun, 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 dun. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Bring a message to your master, Jabba the Hutt.
This guy looks really weird.
Bib Fortuna.
Yeah.
Jabba no bother.
This is why I always prefer the originals to the prequels, because the practical effects are just amazing. Like the prosthetics on Bib Fortuna just look astounding. I mean, and Jabba the Hutt himself, like in the prequels, in the Phantom Menace and in New Hope Special Edition, he was always animated. He was CGI, which didn't work well at all.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the practical effects really help with the original films because, you know, I mean, that's a problem that you know I have with the prequels is that, you know, watching Attack of the Clones, just like watching a cartoon. It's not real life. You know, it's just you just sucked out of the reality of the world. Unlike here, I mean, everything here in this room, it's practical effects.
Although actually, I do let Revenge of the Sith off for that, because that was actually the most interesting use of green screen and CGI. I'll give Revenge of the Sith the off for that, but the first two, yeah, you're right, no. Especially Jar Jar. Jar Jar Binks doesn't hold up today. Like the effects on him are still really dated now.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the CGI for episode 1 and 2 is just really dated now, especially like Mace Windu was talking to the clones in Attack of the Clones just looks really bad.
Allow me to.
The CGI Moff Tarkin in Rogue One looks astounding.
Yeah.
I know that you are powerful, Jabba.
I mean, I know Alan says like this is Mark Hamill's weakest performance, but I disagree. I think it's his best performance because you see that Luke is matured and that he's a Jedi.
That's the major difference between Luke and Anakin. Luke matures, Anakin doesn't. Anakin remains a brat throughout the entire prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
What did you say? Both are hardworking.
I mean, a lot of people say this is the weakest film because after Empire it's just not as good. Which I can understand if you prefer Return of the if you prefer Empire Strikes Back. But I think I just prefer this to Empire because it's just such a great wrap up to the trilogy. I think this is more of an epic scale than A New Hope as well.
And it's more original than The Force Awakens. Well.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that annoyed me. Like a lot of people when Force Awakens came out were just like, "Oh yeah, Force Awakens, it's like one of the best Star Wars films. It's like better than Return of the Jedi." Like everybody was saying that it's better than Return of the Jedi. I just didn't understand it because I like Force Awakens, but Return of the Jedi, it's just so much more original and just like a really great wrap up to the trilogy. I mean, I don't understand why people prefer Force Awakens to Return of the Jedi, but I mean, it's opinion, so yeah.
Acquisitions. You are a criminal guard, are you not?
I mean, that's what's.
Yes.
I mean, one thing that Force Awakens is guilty of, even though it does have more practical effects, it does have some CGI characters like I forget her name. What do you call the orange alien?
Maz Kanata.
Maz Kanata, yeah. I mean, Maz Kanata, to me, the CGI just wasn't very good.
I disagree. I thought the CGI in Force Awakens worked because they didn't overuse it. Like it was good enough. Like it wasn't as good as the Rogue One CGI, but I think because of the prequels, it didn't bother me so much. So I'll forgive it. But I can understand where you're coming from. But they did the motion capture stuff. I think the Snoke CGI was the weakest for me.
Actually, yeah, I totally agree. No, I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, Force Awakens had a lot more practical effects, and CGI, it didn't bother me as much as the prequels, but I just think the CGI for Maz just wasn't great. But yeah, I mean, this scene here, the Jedi rocks. It's actually they originally did a dance number with a puppet, but I know you love it, but a lot of people hate this scene.
I just think it's funny. Like I know it's crazy and that probably doesn't fit, but I just think it's hilarious.
I don't mind it either. I have to say, some of the girls, like the alien girls in this, are quite fit. Like the green one dancing for Jabba. I mean, you get that weird close-up of his teeth. I mean, I don't mind it. I don't think it's that bad. I mean, the song's got a nice sort of beat to it.
I mean, yeah, the CGI is a bit dated, but it looks alright.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. What's interesting, this scene here where she falls into the pit, that they actually brought her back 14 years later to do this scene where you see her in the pit. And she hasn't aged a day.
Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa. Oh, the
I just quite love the whole look of Jabba's palace. It's just so alien and disgusting. But it's just, I mean, and that puppet of Jabba's brilliant.
yeah, and it kind of feels like very club-esque, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like some kind of
Dance number and stuff.
yeah, it feels like some kind of seedy nightclub or something like that. Like,
Whoa.
I mean, Jabba is kind of a gangster, so
Even though he just basically sits on his arse all day.
yeah. I mean, I think one thing that the new films, I mean, even though they do have good characters, you'll never have as good characters as Luke, Han, and Leia and all that.
Yes.
Chewbacca. I think actually, this is Lando's very good in this movie. He redeems himself after the last film.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lando is much better in this film than Empire because he's just a dick in Empire.
He's a bit of a dick in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, exactly.
What did I say?
Illustrious Jabba.
Yeah.
The mighty Jabba asked why he must take it.
I think Jedi's one of the darkest in the saga. I mean, maybe Empire's darker, but I think Jedi's very dark as well. Some people don't say it is, but I think Jedi's quite dark. Like with the whole stuff with Jabba and the Emperor and Luke and Vader. I think that stuff's very dark. You know, compared to A New Hope, which I think A New Hope is probably the most. It's the most lighthearted. I think A New Hope is the most lighthearted, just kind of fun romp of the original trilogy.
Yeah. The Force Awakens tried to recapture that, but then it tried to be dark at the same time as well.
I think the main problem with Force Awakens, and we've already said this in the commentary, was that it just copied off A New Hope too much. And I mean, the characters I still think are good, and I still enjoy the film, but I think that's why I probably rate it 5th out of the 8 films, because I just think Rogue One and the trilogy just has more originality and.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's funny. While I agree, Rogue One is a much better film, it does fail with the characters. Whereas Force Awakens did do very well with its characters. I'll give it that.
I mean, I don't think the film fails with its characters. I mean, I think Jyn Erso is still a good character. I mean,
sorry, I just meant like the supporting characters.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like Donnie Yen and all that?
Yeah, the main group. There's a few in there that just don't really do anything. They're not really developed.
I know what you mean. I mean, a lot of people like make that criticism, but it doesn't bother me as much because it's only one film, and you can't spend loads of screen time developing these characters. You need to get to the plot. I mean, that's the main thing with that film. You're not supposed to grow really, really attached to them. They're just on a mission to destroy, to get the Death Star plans. I mean, they die at the end of the film anyway. So, I mean, you're not supposed to get like so hugely emotionally attached. It's more about, getting the Death Star plans. But
yeah, you're only really meant to care about Jyn and her father, which is I understood, but it should have been nice for them to have a reason to be there. Like Donnie Yen and the big guy, they just don't really have a reason to be there. They're just there,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
we'll save that for the Rogue One commentary, but. No, this is nice. I like the scene when Han Solo is rescued by Leia from the carbonite.
Yeah. Harry Ford. I mean, I don't know how he lives in carbonite, how he's still alive. Surely if you're frozen, you'd be dead.
I don't know. Freeze, motherfucker!
I said, freeze!
Yeah, I know. Freeze. No, I actually think these two give very good performances in this film.
Yeah.
By this point, the characters are in love, so I think the biggest problem, another problem I had with The Force Awakens was Han and Leia. Why didn't they stay together? That would have been so nice.
Exactly. I mean, I like The Force Awakens, but if you think about it, it was an unnecessary sequel. I mean, at the end of the day, it didn't add a hell of a lot. I mean, I'm enjoying that Star Wars is back, but I don't think there was any real point in a sequel after Return of the Jedi because they already defeated the Empire, and it's kind of like you just kind of have the same story again. You know, Jedi fighting Sith. But
a lot of elements were taken from A New Hope, but Return of the Jedi is just epic. Which is why it's a better film for me personally than The Force Awakens. It's just, and the characters are better done.
And also the story is much better than Force Awakens. Force Awakens was just too derivative of A New Hope.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of relied on its nostalgia and fan service quite a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I'm not going to try and criticize J.J. Abrams because he is good and he did do a great job. He put a lot into it, so it is a good film. But yeah, I don't think it's one of the best.
I mean, I think people did overhype it and overrate it. I mean, I think now people are sort of realizing that it was a good film, but it wasn't like a masterpiece that people were making it out to be.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't understand is after this movie, there's 30 years between this and The Force Awakens. They don't explain how the First Order actually rose from the ashes of the Empire. Just like they're just there.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just an excuse to get Carrie Fisher in a bikini.
Yeah.
Chewie, is that you?
Apparently she said during A New Hope, apparently she said during A New Hope and in Empire Strikes Back, she didn't like the clothes she was wearing. She said she wanted to show more of her. She actually said that she wanted to show more of her feminine side. You know.
A Jedi Knight. For a little while, everybody gets visions of grandeur.
Grandeur.
All right now.
No matter what, we're always going to be out of sync with our DVDs, but it doesn't matter.
And what put you on?
Just when Chewie sees him.
Yeah.
Can't see, pal. I love Chewbacca.
I think Harrison Ford's acting here is really good. Like the way he's like blind and he's just like, oh, he's just kind of, I know, buddy, I know.
Yeah. I think. I think he's always been consistently good in the films that he's been in. I think in the Force Awakens they tried to show more of his emotional side, which worked. But I think this might be his best performance, or The Empire Strikes Back. One of the two would be his best performance.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely Mark Hamill's best performance. I will say that.
No, I would have said The Force Awakens was his best performance. I mean, those 30 seconds.
This is quite interesting. Like, look, like,
That's Saboba. Fuck. I thought it was called Saboba.
Yeah. But did you notice, like, when he used the Sith choke on the pit guards?
Yeah.
That's kind of a Sith power. I wonder how he knows Sith powers.
Yeah. I don't want them to turn Luke into a Sith. I just don't think that would work for his character. Because they did it for Anakin. I don't know.
I mean, I like this. It's quite interesting. I mean, the way he's wearing that hood, he kind of looks a little bit like the Emperor in some ways.
Yeah. Where he just kind of steps into the light.
Yeah.
Master Luke's under rescue.
I mean, people say this like scene in Jabba's palace goes on too long, but I mean, I disagree. I mean, I think it's really well paced.
It's maybe it's an incy bit long, but it's not like everything that happens is interesting. Maybe it takes a while for Luke to appear, but after this, it gets much better.
I mean, Carrie Fisher, woo, she's pretty sexy now.
I mean, yeah, bless her soul. Carrie Fisher's gone now, but
Yeah.
back in the day, she was a force to be reckoned with.
Look, his Force awakened when he saw her.
But the problem is they're brother and sister.
Yeah, exactly.
Incest.
I mean, that's kind of what it's a bit disgusting when you think about it. When she like full on like gives him a kiss, like in Empire, she like kisses him with her tongue. It's like,
they didn't know, but at the same time, like they would have looked back on it and went, "Ugh, fuck." I know, like brothers and sisters do kiss each other, but never like in that way.
It's funny because there's a book that came after Empire Strikes Back, and it's supposed to take place before Return of the Jedi, and this is before the film came out. And basically, Luke and Leia get married. I mean, they would know that they become brother and sister.
Disgusting. Hang on a minute. That's one thing that's always confused me about Return of the Jedi. How far after Empire is it set? I thought it was straight away.
I don't think it is. I think it's set like a few months after. I think it's either a few months or maybe like a few years after Empire Strikes Back.
But that wouldn't make sense, because how could Han Solo survive in the carbonite for that long?
Well, I mean, I think you can tell time has passed between Empire and Jedi, because I mean, Luke is like he's not a full Jedi now.
Yeah, that's what confuses me, because Luke is now properly trained, but yet Han Solo is still pretty much the same, and he still survived in the carbonite. But
I love the Rancor. It's just so cool.
the fact he's not even using the Force or his lightsaber in this fight.
Yeah. I remember playing this level in Lego game.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I also love the John Williams score here as well.
I mean, I think his score for all three films is great. I think his best score might be The Empire Strikes Back or this.
I don't know what his best one is. It's hard to say, really, because he's...
I think it is The Force Awakens, but that's because...
Yeah, his weakest score is The Force Awakens, but like the first 6 scores are like almost as good as each other. I don't know which one's the best. I think Revenge of the Sith is a great score, but then Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back will have great scores. Even the first film, A New Hope.
Yeah. I mean, Empire's we have the introduction of the Imperial March, or the dan 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 dan.
Yeah.
I mean, you would never get this in the prequels, you know, a practical effect, you know.
Yeah, George production design. Actual production design.
Yeah. I just love Jabba's reaction to the fact that Luke kills the Rancor. You know, it's quite funny.
I find it random that this guy comes in, like, he's going, "Ooh." Yeah. And Lando's disguised as a guard.
I just love the fact he's crying, like. Look.
You all right? Right. You together again.
I mean, Harrison Ford. It's interesting because he did Raiders of the Lost Ark a couple of years before. I mean, he actually wanted his character to be killed off in this film.
Well, I think he wanted his characters to be killed off in Empire.
I heard he wanted to die in Jedi. I don't know. I think he wanted to leave the series for a while.
Yeah. But then he was happy to return for The Force Awakens, probably on the condition that they killed him off.
I think you can tell Harrison Ford. It's just not his favorite role, Han Solo, but I mean, we're gonna get Indiana Jones 5 in a few years' time, which is just.
I'm just going to pretend that doesn't exist.
Yeah. You know, fair enough, Harrison. If you want to kill yourself on set, you know.
Be my guest.
Those sort of woolly mammoths, whatever they are. I actually, that Jabba sail barge, my brother used to have it, like a Lego version of that. It was awesome. What bit are you on?
Just when the sail barge is about to go to the pit.
Yeah, same. I mean, that prop of Jabba is really big. I mean, it's kind of a shame after this that they didn't use the puppet again. It was just CGI.
Yeah.
You're gonna die here. Convenient.
Yeah, the back projection's a bit dated, but hey ho.
I know, but
it's not a major problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Jabba's just disgusting.
Well, I can see your sentiments, but this case is dangerous. They're going to execute Master Luke, and it will not help us too.
I just love the relationship between R2 and C-3PO in the original trilogy.
I agree.
You never got that again in the prequels or the new films.
Yeah, like you see them briefly in the prequels, and they don't interact much in The Force Awakens either.
They're briefly in Rogue One. I mean, it's funny because they're the only two characters in every Star Wars film.
Yeah.
His Excellency hopes that it
I
will
don't think
last.
they'll be in the Han Solo film though.
What should any of you wish to say for mercy? The great Jabba the Hutt.
I don't know about the Han Solo film. Like, what are you gonna do with that film? You know, just show him as a smuggler.
Yeah.
Bill, they're getting no much pleasure.
Oh, bad news. Apparently, Disney are saying that Han Solo, that's not his real name.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that.
Such bullshit.
I don't think it's going to be very good. I think you've got the two wrong directors making it. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. They're known for comedy. I don't think they're the right people to make it.
Yeah. And the fact that, you know, you're saying Han Solo, that's not his real name, it's just stupid. And what are you going to do if Han... I love this scene, actually.
The music is so cool.
Yeah, the way it's just sort of gesturing to everybody.
The editing's great. The way they cut to all the characters' reactions.
I just love this scene.
Green lightsaber. Woo!
Yeah, I love that lightsaber.
This is awesome. None of this fancy ballet choreographing like the prequels.
Yeah. Although I wouldn't bash the prequels of the lightsaber fights. I do enjoy the lightsaber fights.
Yeah, they were good, but they were choreographed to fuck.
I know, but I mean, I wouldn't like knock them. I still enjoy them.
Yeah. One thing I will say about this movie is that Boba Fett is wasted.
Yeah.
He's definitely stupid.
Well, the thing was, at the time, Lucas didn't know how popular Boba Fett was. He didn't know that he was a really popular character. That's why he gave him a shit death.
Yeah. Well, apparently, according to Star Wars lore, he doesn't actually die in the pit.
Yeah.
So it'd be great to see him return if he is still alive.
It's kind of funny the way he dies, so it's like, ah!
Yeah, it's just goofy, like his death. Because his father had a much more dramatic death. You got killed by Sam Jackson
Yeah.
in the Attack of the Clones.
Fuck again, Boba Fett motherfucker!
I'm tired of these motherfucking bounty hunters in this motherfucking galaxy. Oh yeah, this is quite dark. The striking Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
Lando's just hanging off the edge.
Yeah. You see his tail flopping like when she's strangling him, like. I love this action scene. It's really funny as well, like because Ham's still blind. Almost. Green pigs. I just love how he's like, ah! It's like his leg.
And then he just decides to shoot it.
Yeah. It's like, all right, I can see a lot better. I mean, this film is 34 years old this year.
That's weird. Gotta get out of here.
I mean, this year, of course, it's the 40th anniversary of Star Wars.
That's true. 40 years since A New Hope. Where did you get? Go off the edge.
Yeah.
Some clothes on, Leia. My God.
Yeah.
So embarrassing, sis. Don't forget
Just love the way like C-3PO and R2 are being like pulled out of the sand.
Oh shit! We've been on over half an hour.
Hasn't felt like it.
No. It's weird because the opening to Revenge of the Sith feels a lot longer, and that's only the first 20 minutes. It has nothing to do with the main plot.
I mean, yeah, I mean, the opening to Revenge of the Sith, as a kid, I loved it, but rewatching it, it just drags on. Like,
A little bit.
I will say, like, the first half hour of Revenge of the Sith with Anakin and the Jedi Council, that's just filler. Like, you know.
It's more like the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's only really the second half of the film where it becomes a lot better.
It does pick up, yeah, after Mace Windu dies, which is strange. It's not because he dies, but just after he dies, that's just when it gets better.
Yeah. And it's interesting, Luke got shot and you see like a robotic hand. I mean, it's interesting because this Death Star is a lot bigger than the original.
Yeah, yet it isn't finished.
Yeah.
I love this. Dun, 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 dun.
Inside the Death Star, I think it's better than the Death Star that we see in The New Hope.
Oh, this is brilliant. We see the Emperor.
I love the red guards, the Emperor's guards.
Oh yeah, they're really freaky. I think you see them in Rogue One actually as well. When that guy goes to see Vader, and he's like, Director Krennic has arrived, and then the guards are standing on the other side.
I think Ian McDermott as the Emperor, he's great. He really adds to the film.
I mean, you get the sense that he is actually like really old. He's like nearly 100 years old by the looks of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the way he gets electrocuted in Revenge of the Sith, I can understand some people not, being a fan of that because it just, because I mean, from this film you just tell he's a really old man.
I think it works though.
Yeah.
Everything is proceeding as I had foreseen.
I think Ian McDermott's great, like, everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
It's over the top, but not so much that it's like a pantomime. Just so.
Yeah, I think it adds to it. It's just, you could tell he's really reveling in the part. You could just tell he's really enjoying it.
Oh, this is sad when Yoda dies.
Yeah. I mean, Puppet Yoda, he's the best Yoda. I mean, you have him flipping around like an idiot in Attack of the Clones fighting Dooku's.
And they changed him in the Phantom Menace Blu-ray. On the 3D re-release, they made him CGI.
Oh, God, yeah.
She cannot come.
It's a really touching scene here.
With 900 years old, you reach look as good. You're not.
Oh, you're a Time Lord.
Oh. Just regenerate.
Soon will I rest. Yes.
He's the William Hartnell version of Yoda.
Master Yoda died.
Strong am I.
Dear boy.
My life is upon me. And soon I rest all.
Yoda's just a really kind of sweet character.
They made him boring in the prequels, but here he's just so lovable.
I need your help. I've come back to complete the trip.
I just love the look of this puppet, this animatronic. It looks so good.
Yeah.
Then I am.
Looks like there's a lot of emotion in there.
I mean, it's interesting the fact that you said Empire, you got to complete your training, but in Jedi, it's just like, oh, you've already completed it.
Well, we don't know how much time has passed since the previous film.
Only then a Jedi will be.
You must confront Vader.
And confront him.
Strong with the martial art.
You ought not. There is no try.
Is Darth Vader my father?
I like the scene. He's like, is he my father?
Rest thy name. Yes. Rest.
Yoda, I must know.
Your father is.
Now it kind of confirms to him that,
Vader is his dad.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. He's so willing to kill him in Empire Strikes Back, but then when he finds out in Return at the end of Empire, no, he just doesn't want to. He just doesn't want to go near Vader. He wants to redeem him.
That I know the truth.
But he doesn't think he can do it.
Unfortunate that you rushed to face him.
Yeah.
That incomplete was your training. That not ready for the burden for you.
I'm sorry.
Remember, a Jedi strength calls for the Force.
I think Mark Hamill's really good in this scene.
Anger, fear, dark.
The music is beautiful.
Yeah.
Once you start down
I also love Yoda's little hut in the Dagobah.
Yeah.
Destiny.
I'm fucking pissed off at George Lucas for deleting that scene in Revenge of the Sith. Yoda goes to Dagobah. It makes so much sense to put that in there. It was like
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Underestimate
Yeah.
the powers of the
I mean, the film was already long enough, you know, without taking that scene out.
It wouldn't have made a difference if you kept it in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The last of the Jedi was revealed.
I think Mark Hamill, what's good about him here is that he's very reserved in this film. He's not like shouting or being over the top, like no.
You want the impossible. Like, I am ready, Ben. Tell him, Ben, I'm ready.
Yeah. Like this scene.
Is another
When he says there's another Skywalker, as a kid, I didn't even know what he like. I couldn't even like hear what he was saying.
Oh.
It's interesting the way Yoda's body like disappears.
Seems to happen with all the Jedi. Well, with Obi-Wan as well. His body disappears when he slices it.
I think Star Wars might have taken this from Doctor Who, because in Doctor Who, once a Time Lord dies, their body disappears. You know, it's quite funny because I think when I watched Last of the Time Lords, that scene where Vader burns, sorry, not Vader, that scene where the Doctor burns the Master on the fire just reminds me of Return of the Jedi.
It does. It does have a little bit of Star Wars vibe to it.
You can't go on alone. Yoda will always be with you.
Alec Guinness.
Why didn't you
Good effects here.
tell me Vader
Yeah.
betrayed and murdered my father?
Your father was seduced by the dark side of the Force. He ceased to be Anakin Skywalker and became Darth Vader. When that happened, the good man who was your father was destroyed. So what I told you is true, from a certain point of view.
Point of view?
Yeah, you dick, Obi-Wan.
Depend richly on our own
You know what I don't understand? How could he sit down on that log? He's a ghost.
Your father
I don't know.
Doesn't really matter. It's a nitpick, but
Come, Luke. Let me tell you about your mother. She was a slut.
I fucked your mother.
I'm not condone a course of action that will lead you to fuck me. Padme. They don't really-
I'll tell you about your father. Sorry, your mother. Look, she won an Oscar for Black Swan.
Yeah. After she did terribly in the Star Wars prequels. I can't do it, Ben. I can't do it.
You were our only hope.
I like the fact that, you know, he explains to him that, you know, for him, Anakin was dead. Vader sort of killed him in a way, even though he was the same person.
Yeah.
To
I
protect
suppose
your
to Obi-Wan, it felt like Anakin was dead.
Yes.
So that's probably why
Yeah.
he told Luke the way he did. I suppose he didn't want to cause him any pain by saying, "Oh, Vader is your father," rather than Vader just betrayed and murdered your father, which is kind of true, like he says, from a certain point of view. But yeah,
Inside certain
Oh yeah, and when he finds out Leia's his sister, yeah.
they do you credit, but it could be made to serve the Emperor.
If you think about it, the Jedi's, I guess you could say, because they technically are Jedi Knights, I guess you could say they're kind of like Knights of the Holy Crusade. Like they're sort of on a quest to like destroy the Empire and like
yeah.
medieval knights in some ways.
Dun, 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 dun. This is great. We get another Rebel briefing.
Yeah.
I was impressed with Rogue One, how they got the similar kind of costumes, and they had they didn't have Admiral Akbar, but they had a similar admiral.
And they had they had your woman who was in this. It was a different actress, but she looked a hell of a lot like her.
Emperor's made a good plan. The time for our attack has come. The data brought to us by the bomb
Lando and Han have kind of patched things up.
battle station. We also know that the weapon systems of this Death Star are not yet operational.
They casted Mon Mothma as a very good lookalike in Rogue One.
Protected.
Yeah.
But most important of all, we've learned that the Emperor himself is personally overseeing the final stages. Of the construction of this Death Star. Many of Bothans died to bring us this information.
We've already been on for nearly an hour.
Yeah.
49 minutes. It's been moving very well so far.
Orbiting the forest moon of Endor. Although the weapon system...
Akbar's like a giant shrimp, if you think about it.
It's a trap!
Protected by an energy stream, which is generated from the nearby forest moon of Endor.
Endor.
The shield must be deactivated.
As a kid, I always thought that the Death Star in Jedi was the same one. Because the way it's like under construction, it looks like it's damaged. Like, as a kid, I always thought it was the same Death Star from the first film because it looks like the new Death Star is damaged, but of course it's new.
Yeah.
And I need it.
General Calrissian.
We have stolen a small Imperial shuttle. Disguised as a cargo ship, but using a secret...
I just thought the camaraderie in this film as well. I think you really feel like I think in this film more than the other two, they really like the whole like Han, Leia, Chewie, and Luke. They all feel like a team in this.
Yeah, even though Luke is kind of on his own personal mission, and Lando is up in the Millennium Falcon, but yeah, you're right. There is a team spirit about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, where she's like, count me in. He's like, well, me too. Like,
I'm with you too.
Chewie. Exciting is hardly the word I would choose.
I think Richard Marquand's direction's really good in this film.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see George Lucas over this film at all. I mean, he probably gave him ideas and probably told him about certain things, like in terms of the story and the universe. But in terms of the vision, you can tell it's not George Lucas.
Yeah.
No, I know it.
I mean, I agree. I mean, like a lot of people say, "Oh, Richard Marquand, like George Lucas was constantly on his back, and you can tell it." But I can't see that, to be honest. Like, I don't see any, input here really from George Lucas apart from maybe the script and some of the ideas.
To get going, you pirate.
I mean, one thing Alan says that this film has, which I disagree on, is it's cheeseball dialogue, cheeseball script, and I really don't see that. I think the script is...
if you want cheeseball dialogue, watch the prequels.
Yeah. I mean, I think the script here is just as strong as the previous two.
I would have to agree with that. I think that the scripts for most of the movies are fine. It's just the three prequels that don't necessarily have great scripts.
Yeah. I mean, I think the conflict between Vader and Luke is great.
Chewie.
And the Emperor as well.
I got a feeling tonight's gonna be a good night.
Chewie.
Ooh.
Here we go again.
Like all the model shots and stuff works really well.
Yeah.
All right, hang on.
One thing I love about the original trilogy as well is just the imagination in it.
I think also this film, why I take it above New Hope is the emotion.
What is thy
Yeah.
There's an emotional scale to this. I mean, it gets more as the movie goes on, but there's a personal cost to this. Like Luke has to confront his father, who is the bad guy or one of the bad guys, and that's what I've always loved about Star Wars. The whole family thing and the whole emotional heart to this is that it's about a family, and like we've compared it to The Godfather, etc. stuff. But I think in this film it's most prominent because it is like a conclusion. So you feel the emotional weight to this more than the other two. You also kind of feel Vader's conflict as well. He's trying to turn good, but he's kind of being kept. You know, he's being taught. He's quite torn between where he should go, which I think is really interesting because we've seen how ruthless he is in the previous movie or the previous two movies, and this time we see him trying to fight that. If that makes sense.
Yeah. What else I really like about this film, and why I take it over A New Hope as well, is that it's more epic. It's just, you know, it's more epic in terms of the scope and the emotional aspects. And I think Empire is the film that really takes the trilogy to a new level. I mean, New Hope for me, it's more of a fun action romp. You know, it's basically, you know, young farm boy, you know, family's kid decides to become a Jedi.
Yeah.
Princess.
I don't know. Fly casual.
Flying casual.
I think A New Hope is brilliant though. I still really like it. It's really grown on me over the years.
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, I didn't appreciate it as much as a kid, but I appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah, and also the fact because of the prequels, you do see.
But it checks out.
You see why Alan puts it as his favorite. I don't think Force Awakens
Star Wars films, so you know.
Yeah.
I can understand why it's his favorite.
Come on, let's keep a little optimism.
I don't think that Force Awakens quite captures the magic of the original trilogy. It has its own sense of charm and sense of fun, but the sense of wonder and magic isn't there because you feel like I've seen this all before, and it's called Episode 4: A New Hope. So yeah, it kind of takes you out a bit. But I still enjoyed that movie because it had some great characters, and it was again a fun romp. And the story was interesting, but again,
I agree. I mean, I think the first time when I saw it and you said in your review it doesn't capture the same magic, I disagreed with you. But on rewatch, I can totally understand what you mean. It doesn't have the same sense of, you know, originality or like the characters. I mean, the characters I think in Force Awakens are good. They're just not as good as the ones in the original trilogy. Like,
yeah,
I love the shot of Vader. You know, they used the same shot in Empire, like his helmet against the background.
I think they used those shuttles in Rogue One, didn't they?
Yeah, I love the look of Endor. Like I mean, what I always loved about this film was that it was set in the woods, and it just kind of.
It kind of makes it, you know. Because a lot of student films are shot in the woods just because it's the easiest thing that works with any time period. So it kind of has that, not to say that it feels like a student film, but it kind of has that respect to student filmmakers. It's like, yeah, we're going to shoot in the woods. But I love the base that they create. And the fact that the fight does take place in the woods, I just think is really, really cool.
Hey, it's me. I love that bit. I love the Forest Troopers as well. I mean, one thing I think is great about the original trilogy as well, that Chris Stuckman pointed out, is there's a nice contrast between, you know, different, you know, themes in each, like, landscapes in each film. Like, first film, it's sand, you know, it's Tatooine. Lol.
I don't like sand. It gets everywhere.
Yeah, second film, ice, and the third film, forest. I love the speeder chase here that we get in a minute.
Yeah, this is a really awesome fight.
It's just really, it's really humorous as well. Like just Han like fighting that like, hey Leia! Wait.
Wait.
I just remember I used to love this scene so much as a kid. I just thought this was so awesome. Like the way it's shot and everything.
I love the sound design here.
Yeah. Yeah, Ben Burtt deserves a lot of credit. I mean, the guy's a genius when it comes to sounds. Like, he made the lightsaber sound and too many great, sound effects for Star Wars.
Yeah, like some of these sounds you would hear again in the pod race, in the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of like Formula One or like a bike chase, like a.
Yeah, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if they. I think they might have taken some of the sound effects from Formula One because it kind of sounds like that. You're right.
Yeah, it always reminds me that I don't know why, and the fact that it is in the Phantom Menace that it's a race as well, it kind of makes sense that they did that. But yeah,
I think Phantom Menace is just. I mean, even though I like the pod racing scene, I think you can tell they sort of took inspiration from this scene, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looks so cool. Like the way they film it. I mean, well, the one thing I don't understand. I mean, those speed going so fast. How do they not like hit into trees straight away? Like,
I don't know. I think what they did was when they filmed the shots on like a wire that and
back projection. Yeah.
But then in post production they probably sped up the footage to make it look faster.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you can tell that you can tell in some shots that it's back projection, but that doesn't like take away from it. Like,
no, you have to understand it's going to get dated as time goes on, but
yeah,
it works. Like the effects for Star Wars tend to hold up very well.
Yeah.
Like, other than the prequels are really getting dated now, but it's weird. The original films are actually holding up better than. That's sad. That's just sad.
It is actually, yeah. I mean, the fact that the original, but it kind of shows how much better the original films are as well. That they hold up better than the prequels.
Yeah.
And here's Lewis Hamilton. I just love the scene where he just cuts off, but it just like, spins out of control. Speeder. I love that wee 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 sound effect.
I don't know how Ben Burtt comes up with these amazing sounds.
Yeah. He used the hum of a television like microphone.
Yeah, like because it fuzzes out, doesn't it? It goes. Tss.
Yeah, he used that for the lightsaber effects. Like,
Luke! Where's Leia?
Well, she can come back.
I thought she was with you.
Got separated.
Han's pissed at him.
Yeah, you got separated at birth.
Come on, Archie. We can stand.
Yeah.
Here's what he must do. We know what to do.
I love the part when they all get stuck in the net. That's hilarious.
I mean, we get the Ewoks, and I really don't understand the hate for the Ewoks. I mean, they're not that bad. I mean,
were they necessary? No, but do they detract from the film? I don't think so. They're kind of cute.
I like the Ewoks. I'm going to be honest. I don't see the hatred that they get. I mean, they're not the fucking Gungans.
Yeah, true. Actually, the Gungans are worse. Fun fact: that Ewok there is Warwick Davis.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think it's one of his first roles.
He's a Wicket.
Yeah, I quite like this scene where, like, Leia's like,
Well,
she gives him that
looks like I'm stuck here.
crisp or whatever it is. Like, I don't know what it was.
Like
Not-
chocolate or something.
Yeah.
Maybe you can help me.
I mean, a lot of people are just like, I know Alan and a few other people, like, when it comes to Return of the Jedi, it's like, oh, it's just Star Wars with teddy bears, and it's like, come on.
I wouldn't go that far. Like, the film still has some emotionally great moments, so the film gets so underappreciated because people just bitch about the fucking Ewoks.
Yeah.
They're not that bad.
That's everybody's criticism. It's the Ewoks, you know. The Ewoks, they ruined the film. You know, I mean...
Have you seen The Phantom Menace?
I mean, for me, it's like, they're not that big of a deal. I mean, you know, not only that, but like Star Wars, you know, it's made for children. You know, I mean, you know, people bitch about the Ewoks. What about the Jawas in A New Hope? They're stupid, you know. Why does nobody bitch about the Jawas in A New Hope, you know? For me, this film's a bit like The Godfather Part 3. It's really underrated. Like, everybody's like, oh, it's pretty weak, or some people think it's shit. Like, it's just like, I don't understand, you know. I mean, it may not be as good as Empire Strikes Back, but it doesn't make it a shit film.
No, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think this is one of the most enjoyable Star Wars movies.
I agree, yeah. But, you know, people just say, oh, like, it's not that dark compared to Empire, but I think it is pretty dark. You know, it is. It does have a lot of dark moments in it.
Yeah, it's not as dark, but it definitely has its moments. Like, especially with the finale, with the Emperor, Vader, and Luke, all of that stuff.
I think it's darker than A New Hope, definitely.
Oh, fucking hell. Need to fast forward a bit. Which bit are you on?
What bit are you on?
Oh, I accidentally pressed a button, so I have to fast forward it.
I'm on the bit where Leia meets that stormtrooper and she knocks it out. I'm an hour and 3 minutes in.
Yeah. I'll just play from here. Hopefully, I'll be in the time.
We're on the same bit now.
Oh, that's good. Sorry about that.
It's all right. Like, would you say Jedi is darker than The New Hope?
Probably, yeah. I mean, a little bit darker.
I actually think it is quite dark. I mean, I think it's next to.
I think it's more mature. That's the best way I can describe it. Return of the Jedi is more mature than A New Hope. Because A New Hope is the introduction. It's reeling you in. I mean, then again, it's weird because they go. Each one's are darker than the others. So, like, Revenge of the Sith was dark. Then The New Hope was light. Then Empire was dark. Then this is kind of light and dark.
I love the whole look of the Emperor's like throne room here. And I love these scenes between him and Vader. Like, I love the lighting.
I told you to remain on the command ship.
A small rebel force has penetrated the shield and landed on Endor.
Yes, I know.
My son is with them.
Are you sure?
I have felt
David Prowse, I mean, the guy was really built. You know, I mean, he definitely brought the physical presence to Vader. And James Earl Jones as Darth Vader is just brilliant.
I don't think we'll be hearing his voice again, though. I think he's, after Rogue One, I think his voice is getting on a bit now, so he has to kind of retire from it.
Yeah. I don't know how he'll ever replace his voice, though. You know, if they ever do any more Star Wars films and bring Vader back.
I don't think they need to bring him back, but if they do, then they'll find a way.
I mean, talking about Force Awakens, I just thought Kylo Ren was kind of like a poor man's Darth Vader.
It was his grandson, so I guess he was trying to like kiss his ass quite a lot. But I thought Kylo Ren was pretty good. But again, he's no Darth Vader. Like he was good enough. He was serviceable.
Benicio del Toro was actually the new villain in The Last Jedi. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? I mean, I don't know about calling, you know, the new film The Last Jedi, because this is called Return of the Jedi. But I saw somebody make a video about Rogue One the other day, and they did like a rant on it. They didn't like Rogue One. And they said, like, you know, we had Return of the Jedi, then a couple of films later we get The Last Jedi. Oh, what a great return. I can understand if some people like are annoyed that, you know, after Return of the Jedi, the Empire's still around and there aren't any Jedi really apart from Luke and Rey.
Yeah, it's just a dead animal, Chewie.
Yeah. I don't care about whether it's similar to this or not. I just want to make sure that it works with the film. If it doesn't work with the film, then yeah, it doesn't. But it's not a catching title.
I love this when they're stuck in the net.
Billy? Great. Always thinking with your stomach.
Always thinking with your stomach.
Way to get out of this thing. Tom, did you read my lights?
Han and Chewie, they're kind of like a comedy double act.
The Ewoks. They start worshipping C-3PO.
Oh, I love the look. Actually, I really like the look of these Ewoks. Like, look a bit like an African tribe. I just love Han's reaction. Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Point that thing someplace else. Why you?
I don't really think the Ewoks make the film bad at all. I mean, what do they really do to the film?
Point that thing someplace else.
Yeah, they are a little bit. They don't ruin the film for me. It might have been better to have something a little bit more, less. I don't know, less.
Originally, they were gonna have. Originally, they were gonna have a planet of Wookiees.
Kashyyyk, yeah. I think it might have been better to have that, but the Ewoks are okay. They're fine. But,
I mean, think about it though. Star Wars they're films made for children, and look how many silly alien races you have in the original trilogy and in.
Yeah, I'd say they're more family, but yeah, this one is probably the most kid friendly.
I don't know what I would say that out of all of them. I'd say Phantom Menace is more kid friendly if that Jar Jar Binks crap.
Well, I disagree. With a plot about taxation, who's going to fucking understand it?
No, but I mean, like, you got Jar Jar Binks trying to throw that in for kids. I mean,
It didn't end up being very friendly.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I mean, the Ewoks, they're not like the Gungans. You know, they're nowhere near as bad as them, so I don't mind them.
Divine influence.
Oh, yeah, it's quite funny. Use your divine influence and get us out of here.
Why you? My mistake. Han. Bless Han, he's a bit of a hothead.
Yeah.
I like how they live up in the trees.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the fact that they have these tree huts. The music
they're
written by John Williams here. Sort of African tribe kind of music.
Yeah. Did John Williams compose this?
Yeah, I think he did, yeah. Yeah, of course he did. Star Wars.
Yeah.
A really bad feeling about this.
I have to say that in every film.
Yeah. Alan, when he was going to see Force Awakens, he says, please don't say that, and then he did anyway.
Han.
Yeah, I got a bad feeling about this.
It's just become a trademark. Although Rogue One, they managed to get away with saying half the line.
They also said I got a bad feeling about this in a comedy show called The Mighty Bush. Like, this ape called Bolo, like, basically keeps saying I got a bad feeling about this.
Hasta la vista, baby Jesus. How Leia's had time to change her hair.
Kindness.
But these are my friends.
I don't think she looks as good with her hair like that. It just, I don't know.
Whoop, tut, tut.
It is a shame Carrie Fisher is no longer with us.
Yeah. We had her in the original trilogy, and she came back for one last time. So and she'll be in The Last Jedi. So we can.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing her there. Their last performance.
Tell them if they don't do as you wish, you'll become angry and use your magic.
But Master Luke, what magic?
Magic.
What are we?
Magic.
Oh gosh.
Tell them.
Oh gosh. Anyway, which was to Anna? You waited for the boom.
Boom. We've only got.
I love the fact C-3PO gets more to do in this film.
Sorry.
I love the fact that C-3PO gets more to do in this film.
Yeah. Like, and he was brilliant in The Empire Strikes Back as well. It's so much more comedy.
Yeah. Luke is using his Jedi powers to make him seem like a god. Like, I like that scene there where like Han, like they're putting the fire next to him, he's trying to blow it out. Like,
We've only got 1 hour left of this film.
yeah, hasn't felt that long.
It's paced really well, I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah, Alan said, I know some people say that Return of the Jedi is really talky and it's quite slow, but I don't think it's slow.
No. I like it. I think it's really good.
It's my favorite Star Wars film for a reason.
Thanks.
Woo!
I mean, I don't know. I mean, ever since I was a kid, it's just always been my favorite just because I just think it's just a great wrap-up to the original trilogy, and I just love the conflict between Vader and Luke, and I think it's probably the most emotional of the original films.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Here, come take that stuff.
It's kind of the story of Obi-Wan and Vader's lightsaber fight.
Yeah. The sound effects again. It's quite cool seeing C-3PO telling stories.
Oh gosh. Master Luke and Jiminy to do. Millennium walking at Jiminy's Cloud City.
Jiminy to do.
Freedom. Oh. Take low. Ini jatuh ke momen.
Look at
There's Warwick Davis in Phantom Menace as well. Was he in the prequels?
Sorry?
Was Warwick Davis in the prequels as well, or was Return of the Jedi the only film he was in?
No, he was. He was in the Phantom Menace. You know, when they have the pod race, they cut back to this one guy and then this other person, like, in the crowd. That's Warwick Davis.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah. I don't believe he's in any of the other movies.
Didn't Kenny Baker die a few years ago?
Yeah, he died a year or two ago.
Yeah. It's kind of a shame because he and Anthony Daniels never really got on.
Yeah.
Although you wouldn't, I mean, you couldn't tell that from their performances in the film.
No.
I think Han is really good in this.
He does give a shit because in New Hope he doesn't care, but by this point he does. Has them.
I think it's maybe everybody's best performance here. I mean,
I
I
love
like the scene.
Hurry up, will you? I haven't got all day. And he's like, he's trying to tell the Ewok something, and he's like, hurry up, I haven't got all day, will you? Oh, I don't like this because George Lucas fucked this up in Revenge of the Sith. It's like, do you remember your mother, your real mother? Yeah, she died when I was very young. Yeah, when you were like 10 seconds old. How the fuck do you remember this? Like, how do you remember Padme? You can't remember Padme like when you've just been born. Like, hey,
no one remembers when they're born.
Very beautiful. Kind.
unless well, no.
No, she said she was very beautiful, kind, but sad. How could you tell that all from 10 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, she was raised by Bail Organa and his wife, but she can't have been talking about them.
Yeah.
Vader.
Vader's here. Now, on this move.
I really like the scene though between them, the way he just sort of, you know, confronts her.
He's come for me. I can feel him. That's why I have to go.
He could just say he's our father, not my father. Because he says, oh, you know, we're brother and sister. It's like, oh. It would make sense for Leia to go there as well, but...
I suppose because she hates Vader, that's why. I mean, he did torture her in, like, A New Hope.
Yeah. Even though... Did Vader know all this time that Leia was his daughter?
No, he didn't. He doesn't find out till the end of the film.
Oh, until he reads Luke when he says, "Oh, you have a twin sister."
You have that power too. In time, you'll learn to use it as I have.
So does she find out that Vader is her father then? Like, they never say.
Father.
Well, yeah, because I think she realizes now when Luke says, you know, you're my sister. And then, you know, he doesn't exactly say that Vader is our father. He just kind of says Vader's my father. But she obviously guesses because they're brother and sister. So she's like, oh, okay, Vader's my dad too.
Well, it makes sense because she could hear Luke at the end of Empire Strikes Back. I mean, they used this brief bit here where he said, oh, I have it, my sister has it, my father has it. They used that in the trailer for Force Awakens.
Yeah.
No. Luke, run away. Far away. He can feel
To a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah. And Han obviously gets the wrong idea from this. He thinks that they're having a thing, but
yeah. But I like at the end where it's like, oh, I love him. It's like, oh, I get it. It's just like, oh no.
No, he's my brother.
Yeah.
You can tell Han's just thinking about that kiss. They're like, what the fuck?
This is fucking fucked up.
Incestuous, man.
Can you imagine if Darth Vader, like Padme was still alive, he was like fucking her in his like Darth Vader suit?
Can't breathe. Anakin, you're making me come. Oh.
Anakin, you're breaking my pussy.
Did you tell Luke? Is that who you could tell?
Is that who you can tell? I don't know.
You fucking slut.
You can imagine Han Solo being quite frisky in the bedroom with Leia.
Get over here, princess.
Yeah, because then they have a son.
It's like Han gets together with Leia. Han came first.
Yeah. Man!
Is that what happened? Did Greedo fuck you?
You think I had a choice, Greedo? I like this when Luke reunites with Vader or the daddy. Imagine the Daddy Day Camp Star Wars edition. Like, stop running around, Luke. You will not play on the trampoline.
I said it was time to do your homework. Go to your room.
You're not my dad. You can't tell me what to do. Can you see the resemblance?
He was armed only with this.
What's this, Luke? Your vibrator for Leia?
It's green. It's more eco-friendly.
Emperor has been expelled.
Yeah, we've got about like another 48 minutes. It's been paced really well.
So you have
I
accepted.
really like this scene here. He's like, "Oh, you've accepted the truth."
Name no longer has any
Anakin
meaning.
Skywalker, my father.
No longer has any meaning.
It is the name of
Your true self, you've all forgotten.
My name is.
Dialogue.
the Emperor hasn't driven.
I think the dialogue here is great. I don't think it's cheesy at all.
That was why you couldn't destroy me.
I think you're right when you said it's sort of like The Godfather. I think George Lucas sort of took that family element from The Godfather, because Francis Ford Coppola is a good friend of his. I think the whole like redemption and making it more focused on the family he sort of got from The Godfather. I think you can tell he sort of borrowed a bit of that.
Indeed, you are powerful.
Indeed, you are powerful.
Come with me.
Obi-Wan once thought as you do. You don't know the power of the dark side. I must obey my master.
I will not turn, and you'll be forced to kill me.
If that is your destiny,
And so be it.
Such your feelings, Father. You can't do this. I feel the conflict within you. Let go of your hate.
I have no conflict.
it is too late for me, son. The Emperor
Heart to heart with my boy. Come, son, sit down. Tell Daddy all about it.
now.
Daddy, Boba Fett hit me in the playground. Oh. Jabba. Jabba the Hutt comes in. Oh.
Jabba the Hutt is secretly Santa Claus. Oh.
Luke, we're going to see your grandfather today, the Emperor.
I used to think Return of the Jedi probably has one of the best finales ever. Like the final battle is amazing.
Yeah, when you've got three things going on at once, it's just epic.
The Phantom Menace did it well, but not as well. Like having the lightsaber fight, Padme taking over the palace, Anakin flying the ship, and the Gungan fight. There was like 4 things going on.
Yeah, I mean that scene just there with Vader and Luke is probably one of my favorite scenes from the film.
Of the series, I would say.
Yeah, actually, the series. Yeah, I mean because basically he tries to remind him of Anakin, and he's like, "Oh, that name no longer has any meaning for me," and he's basically trying to redeem his father.
But Lando's taking more of a kind of commanding role. He gets to use the Falcon.
I mean, one thing I didn't get at the end of Empire Strikes Back, why is he wearing Han Solo's clothes?
Probably because they were his originally. Because Han won the Falcon off Lando, so probably everything that came with it, like the clothes as well.
I thought the clothes were Han's. Like, yeah, what do you call this guy again?
Knee nub.
Need Nub. Yeah, he returned Force Awakens. I really like Need Nub.
Bill and D.
Prepare to jump into hyperspace on my mark.
You're going to be led by Bill and D.
They kind of had an Akbar character in Rogue One. Well, it wasn't Akbar.
What, in Rogue One?
Yeah, they kind of had an Akbar character, but it wasn't him.
Admiral Varys or something like that. It was much smaller. He was in a similar chair though.
I mean, you know, people bitch about the special editions and all the changes and stuff they made, but I mean, I don't really understand it. I mean, it's not like they completely changed the story or anything. It's not like they made Luke a Sith or something with the special editions.
They only did it to connect with the prequels.
Yeah.
Which helped me because I mean, these were the only versions I've ever known. I've never known the original cuts, so I've always known these versions, and they're not bothered me at all. And I think like some of the added CGI stuff was there for no reason, but some of it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the original theatrical cuts of the original films, and I mean, you know, I grew up with the special edition cuts. They were the only versions of the film I knew as well until recently. And to be honest, I don't see all the fuss with the special editions. I mean, to be honest, I think George Lucas. To be honest, what I think George Lucas should just do is, you know, just release the special editions and the original editions as well. Like, just so you can piss off fans.
Yeah. If George Lucas wants to continue working, he should just be a visual effects supervisor, because he has given us some of the state-of-the-art visual effects. But obviously, I think he's retired now, so.
I just love that, like, ah! Like.
Yeah, not bad for a little furball. There's only one left.
Yeah. I love the fact that all the characters are given something to do. They're not just like in the background or anything.
Yeah, I agree. And they're all working together to stop the same thing from happening.
Yeah. I like this scene here where we have
the Emperor's so good in this film.
Yeah, Ian McDermott.
His best performance too. I mean, he was one of the shining beacons in the prequels, but he's brilliant here.
I agree. I mean, I think the Emperor here. That's why Return of the Jedi is my favorite as well, because you finally see the puppet master. I mean, Vader is a bad guy, but you finally see the guy who's pulling all the strings. You finally see the guy who's done all this, and it's just great. Like Ian McDermott as the Emperor is great.
I mean, I'm really glad they didn't put him in Rogue One, because it would have ruined his reveal here. Vader was different because you see Vader at the end of Revenge of the Sith, so, and also because it's on Mustafar, it kind of links in, so it doesn't matter too much. But I'm so glad they didn't put Sidious in Rogue One.
Exactly.
And his eyes, I love the makeup on him. He looks so scary.
Yeah, I agree. I just love his voice as well, like the dark side of the Force, you know.
My young Jedi.
Oh no, my young Jedi, you know.
Will find that it is you who are mistaken.
He's just so creepy as well.
Yeah. It's lightsaber.
I mean, he's just pure evil. Like when you see him, he's just pure evil incarnate.
Makes you kind of wonder. He's been planning a lot. Like he planned this very well. Like kind of trying to manipulate Anakin. Like since the Phantom Menace, which was like 60 years before this. Well, I think it is anyway. Hang on a minute. How far is the Phantom Menace before this?
About 19 years. No, sorry, about 21 years before this.
Oh no, it can't be because.
Oh no! Wait! No! Sorry, it's not. Yeah. No, I was thinking of Revenge of the Sith. There. Sorry, it's.
That's all right.
I think it's maybe 50 years, 40 or 50 years before this.
Yeah, because Phantom Menace and To Attack the Clones is 10 years. Attack of the Clones to Revenge of the Sith is like 3 years. Then Revenge of the Sith to New Hope is like 19, 20 years.
Yeah.
And then New Hope to Empire is like a year.
Yeah.
And then probably a few months between Empire and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I think it's about 40 or 50 years.
Yeah, that sounds right. Anakin's probably like 45 or something when he dies. So
yeah, I think he's in his 40s when he dies.
I'm afraid
And then 30 years after, not Revenge, Return of the Jedi to The Force Awakens.
Yeah, I think Anakin is in his like late 40s, maybe early 50s in this, or mid 40s.
I think this is one of the best pieces of John Williams' score.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Bum, 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 bum.
Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, John Williams was a perfect choice for doing the score for Star Wars. Steven Spielberg actually recommended John Williams to George Lucas for the original film.
Ow! You rebel scum. I think when John Williams passes on, which would be sad, at least they can call Michael Giacchino, because he did a great job with the Rogue One score. A lot of people didn't like it, but I did. I thought it was good.
I thought it was great as well.
Dun, dun, dun,
Akbar the shrimp.
dun, 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 dun.
Got Wedge Antilles in this as well. Antilles.
That's great.
Yeah. I mean, Dennis Lawson is in all. He's in all of the original films, and it's actually interesting because he's the uncle of Ewan McGregor.
Really?
Yeah. And Ewan McGregor said he went to see the original film because his uncle was in it, and that's how he like fell in love with Star Wars. And
Dun, 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 dun. The music is so good.
yeah,
Dun, 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 dun.
I love these scenes here, like when they're attacking the Death Star. It's a trap.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's a trap.
Dun, 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 dun.
I think this is one of the best battles in Star Wars, space battles in Star Wars.
It's so good. There's too many of them.
And I agree with you. I mean, I think Lando here really gets to redeem himself after Empire.
I love how he takes charge of the fleet, the rebel fleet. Yes,
destruction of the Alliance and the end of insignificant rebellions.
Ian McDermott is just so good as the Emperor. He's probably my favorite Star Wars villain.
I may have to agree with that. Well, I don't know. Vader's really cool as well. So it's between him and Vader.
I think I prefer the Emperor because the Emperor, you can just tell, is just a really manipulative bastard. But I mean, that scene where Luke near the end nearly kills Vader, he's like, "Oh, kill him and join my side," you know.
I'm surprised that in the prequels nobody suspects him. Like, he's so like, it's so obvious that it's him behind the rails because we see that, and yet nobody else seems to see it until Revenge of the Sith.
I mean, this may sound a bit weird, but it kind of reminds me a bit of Davros from Doctor Who, in that, you know, he's kind of sitting in a chair and he's like this old man.
Kind of deformed.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, okay, the little teddy bears defeating stormtroopers might not be believable, but at least it's epic.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, you know, it's not like the Empire's defeated that easily. I mean, you know, there's also other rebels. Not only that, but there's only, I mean, I think like the Ewok, you know, this is quite funny, this bit. What I say over there? I'm over here.
I say over there.
You're looking for me. C-3PO.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I know some, like Alan was, well, some other people said like the Empire's defeated too easily by, well, the Stormtroopers beaten too easily by the Ewoks, but they're outnumbered. There are more Ewoks on that planet, you know.
They just jump down.
I know. I like this.
Da, 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 da.
The thing is, though, you know, the Stormtroopers being defeated by the Ewoks. There's more Ewoks on the planet than there are Stormtroopers. There's way more of them. It's their own planet, so of course they'll defeat the Stormtroopers.
I don't think numbers is really matters at all. the Ewoks basically just use simple things like they have rocks and stuff, which would, even with the armor, it would still bash the stormtroopers' armor.
Yeah, but they got arrows as well, and there's more of them. There's more of them than the stormtroopers. Numbers does sort of matter. I do like this action scene.
The Battle of Endor is awesome.
Yeah.
Whether you have teddy bears or not, it's awesome.
We've only got half an hour left. I mean, this film's rocketed by.
Yeah.
Just imagine Tarzan. Oh.
Da, 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 da. I love the.
I love that the glider.
Walkers, what the AT-AT walkers. How they basically just trip them up.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like, you know, the indigenous. It's kind of like the Native Americans versus, I don't know, like it's kind of
Nazis.
Yeah, it's kind of like similar to the Native Americans, like, you know, fighting the colonists. You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, even though the Ewoks may not have bigger guns, they can still defeat them because they know the landscape more, they know the planet more.
Yeah.
You know.
They're cleverer than they look.
Yeah. But not only that, but even though they may have primitive weapons, they know how to hide. They know the element of surprise, which the stormtroopers don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I will say as well, I mean, like the catapults, that's cool.
Phew.
One thing I will say as well is that the stormtroopers can't shoot for shit in the original trilogy, so they're not good troopers anyway. Like,
they were. I mean, they're supposed to be because they're technically clones of Jango Fett, so makes you wonder.
Yeah, but I mean, if you watch the stormtroopers in New Hope when they're chasing after Leia and Luke, they can't shoot for shit, so they're not that good anyway.
Just the epic aerial shots of the space.
Yeah, I love it. I think that the fight, the end battle in Rogue One, I think they kind of tried to homage this fight in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, because they had Rogue Squadron, didn't they?
Yeah. Not only that, but it was like they were battling above a planet.
Yeah. I think the space battle, this is probably the best space battle of the series.
Yeah.
We're in attack position now, sir. Hold here.
No.
I have my orders from the Emperor himself. He has something special. We only need to keep him from escaping.
My young apprentice.
My young apprentice.
Yeah.
Your friends have failed.
Just so sinister in the role.
Firepower of this fully armed and operational battle station.
I think Ian McDermott he never gives a bad performance in Star Wars.
He's one of the strongest performers in it. I mean, even in the prequels, when, like, in the Phantom Menace, he doesn't do much, but even in, like, Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, he's one of the saving graces. The blast came from the Death Star.
Yeah. I think Ian McDermott gives his best performance in this film, in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. He must have been quite young when he did this then.
Yeah. I think he was 40 when he did this. 42.
Yeah. Because he was like, what, in his 50s when he did the prequels?
Yeah. He was like 30 or 40 when he did this. I mean, that's what I love about Return of the Jedi. That's why it's my favorite Star Wars film. It's just such a great, you know, ending for the original trilogy. It's just such a great climactic ending.
Yeah.
And there's so much going on. Like, I mean, what I love about it is that it's the most emotional, and you finally get Vader confronting Luke and the Emperor. You finally get to see the Emperor after all this time. It's just such a great way to end the trilogy. Like, everybody gets something to do.
I mean, it's a shame the prequels didn't do a similar thing. But oh well. I mean, at least the last movie paid off, like Revenge of the Sith. At least that one paid off to a solid degree. The setup though, oh god, and the middle act weren't great at all.
Yeah.
Taxation, give me a break.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of them dies.
Yeah, I think that's quite sad actually, because it shows that you know, Ewoks, you know, they're not indestructible or whatever. Like, it's quite touching actually.
They're not stupid. I mean, they look silly, but they're warriors. They are genuinely warriors. I mean, when they approach the others in the forest, they are armed with like sticks, so they defend themselves.
They're a tribe race. They're a warrior race, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the Gungans have Jar Jar Binks, being fucking annoying.
That's even sillier. Yeah.
It's not like
I'm here. I love how Lando's the gold leader.
Yeah.
No, will not survive.
I just love the way the Emperor's like talking down Luke, saying like, "Oh, give up hope, you've lost." Like he's basically saying, "Give up."
He's trying to tempt him to the dark side.
Yeah.
He's trying to make him angry, so he'll turn to the dark side. Which is
what I really like about the Emperor as well is he never really raises his voice.
Yeah, only rarely.
Yeah, when he's like, "Oh, I can feel your anger. You strike me down with all your hate."
I only think he raises his voice more in Revenge of the Sith.
Side will be complete. He's so good in this, and I think Mark Hamill's really good. Like you see the conflict in his face.
It's almost chilling. Like his looks, like everything about his performance is really chilling. You wouldn't want to mess with this guy. He really actually scared me when I first watched this movie. I was quite young, actually. I think I was like 8 or 9 when I first watched this film.
Yeah. I remember when I first watched. The first Star Wars.
And Chewbacca does like the Tarzan, you know.
I just think this is quite cool. It's quite funny.
When they take over the Walker.
Yeah. I mean, I remember growing up with. I remember like when I first saw this film. I mean, I originally saw the first Star Wars film I saw was A New Hope. Like I remember my uncle gave me like a box set of the original trilogy, and I remember watching like. I remember like the 2004 special edition release. He gave me that, and I remember watching them when I was like 7 or 8. And then I remember watching the other 2 prequels and getting really hyped up for Revenge of the Sith because that was the last Star Wars film, and this film just blew me away as a kid. I just remember being a huge Star Wars fan as a kid, just absolutely loving it. Like when I was a kid, when I was like 7 or 8 years old, like. You know, I couldn't get enough of Star Wars. I just loved the trilogy so much. I love those films.
It's such a great franchise. Like, it's a great universe that George Lucas created.
Yeah. I mean, people don't give George Lucas enough credit. A lot of people just... I mean, I think George Lucas, he didn't do a great job with prequels, but, you know, the guy created Star Wars. He created the original...
He gave us Star Wars. I mean, yeah, he did fuck up the prequels, but he lost his way as a filmmaker. But you know, creatively in the beginning, he gave the world a wonderful thing, and at least he directed one film very well.
Mark Hamill said recently, and I agree with him. Like he said he didn't understand. He said he didn't understand the incredible prequels plot. Like he said he was pissed off the fact that Jake Lloyd was made fun of. He's like, he was only a 10-year-old kid doing what George Lucas said. You know, I can understand where he's coming from.
Yeah. I mean, it was also the script as well. But Jake Lloyd basically just He kind of just read the lines like this. He was happy all the time. I don't know. I mean, if he'd been directed better, then yeah.
I love that. Like, I love you. I know.
I think also this is a great lightsaber fight as well of the series.
Yeah.
You see Luke and Vader.
Chewie!
Chewie!
No, wait!
So when they fought in the Force Awakens, they had the lightsaber fight. I missed those sound effects.
This is my favorite lightsaber fight. It's definitely my favorite lightsaber fight.
For me, I'm tied this one and The Empire Strikes Back, just simply because of that reveal of "I am your father."
I like the one in Empire Strikes Back, but I think this one is better because he confronts him for the final time, and you know he doesn't want to kill him. And I just think like the way it's like it's just really fast paced and well done, and the fact that he doesn't want to kill his father and he doesn't want to fight him just makes it better for me. And having the Emperor there as well, it's definitely my favorite lightsaber fight.
You are unwise to lower your defenses. I love that.
Yeah.
And when he flips up there.
Yeah. It's just such a well done fight as well.
Mm.
Yeah, I like that. I feel the good news.
He's sort of finally getting through to him.
Yeah. I think it's more emotional than The Empire Strikes Back as well, this fight. That's why I prefer it.
Yeah. Your destiny.
Dumps it, yeah. I love that music there.
Something
Like the Emperor's so amused by all this.
Good.
No, you will die.
That's really something we could say, oh, this is basically the same as the New Hope space battle, but you know, it doesn't matter. I mean, the whole, I mean, you build a.
I don't see that. It's completely different from A New Hope. They're fighting outside the Death Star,
and then they have to go into it a different way as well.
Yeah.
So it's not.
It's more. It's on a bigger scale as well in the New Hope one. Although I do love the space battle of New Hope.
I love this bit. Han's about to shoot them, and the Ewoks just come in.
Yeah, it's great. It just kind of shrugged it off.
Well, this is powerful.
Yeah.
You know, there was a time when I was younger when I watched this with my dad, and we actually reenacted this bit just as a laugh. Like, I was Luke and he was Vader, obviously, and we just like pretended to have a pretend lightsaber fight. It was quite funny, actually. He'd actually bought me Luke's green lightsaber, the electronic one that made the sounds and lit up, and then also Anakin's one as well, the one that changed color as well to Vader's.
I had the Anakin one as a kid.
Sister.
I'm a twin sister.
Your feelings have now betrayed her too. Obi-Wan was wise to hide her from me. Now his failure. If you will not turn to the dark side, then perhaps
she will. I just love that. Where he just goes crazy.
He goes mad. The music here is so good.
Yeah. I love that shot as well, like when he's hiding under the stairs and you see the dark side of his face and the light side.
Yeah.
I mean, this is so well done. I love this.
So eerie.
This is why it's my favorite lightsaber fight, just because at first he doesn't want to fight him, then he goes completely mad because he mentioned Leia. And this bit here is just hammering on his hands.
Ugh.
He cuts it off. Really powerful.
It makes you wonder also, how the hell did they find his lightsaber?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the other lightsaber. Sorry, I'm getting confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this bit. The Emperor's like, your hate has made you powerful.
Your father's place.
Such a prick. The Emperor, is basically saying, oh yeah, kill Vader. Who cares?
Your father.
He's like, yeah, kill your own father. I just love that. He looks at his robotic hand, and he looks at Vader's chopped off robotic hand, and he realizes they're kind of the same.
Never.
I'll never turn to the dark side. Never turn to the dark side. You failed, Your Highness. I'm Jedi, like my father before me. So be it, Jedi.
Yeah. So be it, Jedi. You can tell the Emperor's really pissed off.
Oh, this is awesome. Now when Lando and the squadron finally destroyed the Death Star as well.
Yeah.
Which attack on the Death Star?
I mean, this for me is just a perfect conclusion to the whole saga. I mean, it's not anymore, but I kind of wish it was still the end of the saga in some ways. Will be destroyed.
Oh, this is one of the best scenes of the entire series.
Yeah. Now, at the end, do you understand?
Music. Oh.
Great, yeah.
No.
That's for the power of the dark side.
Pay the price for your
Yeah. I mean, I'm watching the DVD, and you have that your Blu-ray has that really crappy no added in it.
Oh, don't worry, you'll hear it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really glad that my DVD doesn't have that, because it's so pointless. You will die. I just love the conflict in Vader's. I mean, you can't see his face, but you can tell from the shots that Vader's conflicted because the Emperor's killing his son.
Well, he's looking back and forth. And he's like, "You're killing my son."
Yeah, and looks like, "Father, please,
please."
The Emperor just despises him. Picks him up. Frozen. I mean, that no in the Blu-ray, it's just, what was the point in adding that, George Lucas? Why did you need to add that?
But that was powerful, though. Because if you watch the prequels as well, you see how he's manipulated Anakin and, into also thinking that he killed his wife as well. And now he's trying to kill his son. It's like, the guy's such a dick. So, it's so good.
I just love that. I just love that. That's probably my favorite moment in the whole Star Wars history. Probably just the way that Darth Vader looks back and forth and he decides that that Luke is my son and you're a bastard basically, and I just love the way he picks up the Emperor and just chucks him down the pit. Like, you know, it's just like it's so powerful. I'm not no bit in the Blu-ray. Like, it must be frustrating. Like, the final battle here is great. The Death Star.
So good. Da-da-da-dun, da-da-da-dun. Da-da-da-da-da. So good because it's different to A New Hope. They're actually going inside the Death Star because it isn't finished yet.
Yeah.
They can actually go right into the center rather than having to shoot a little purple ball down it.
Yeah. In A New Hope, they're not in the Death Star. They're on top of the Death Star. They're in the trench. I mean, it's so great that most of this is practical effects. It's like, oh, too late! It just blows up.
Too late! And they all die.
John Williams, I mean, he's a masterful composer. It's kind of interesting in the end because the stormtroopers and everybody just run for their lives, but they don't really give a shit about Vader in the end.
Yeah, they're like, fuck it, let's just get out. You know, we're doomed. We're doomed. Let's go.
Yeah. I love this scene here where he unmasks his father.
Anakin's finally redeemed, dies a good man.
And it's such a great way to end. It's so emotional, like there's nothing can stop that man. Look at you with my own eyes. My own eyes. And you basically just find out he's this frail old man. Well, not old man, but just this frail man.
He's like nearly, I think he's about 50 or something in this.
Yeah.
Oh. Like, because you can see the burn marks as well, not the burn marks, but marks.
Go, my son.
The only inconsistency is the accent. Obviously,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's English in this. Why is Anakin in the prequels American?
American, yeah.
I just love the look of him. You are right. You are right. Just such a powerful scene. Because this is the first time he's seen his father. This is the first time that his father's seen him without the mask.
I mean, that was the whole thing with Vader. Like, who is the man behind the mask? And
the way he's redeemed. And I love that bit of music there. Doom, 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 doom. It's just such a powerful piece of music, and it's a great.
I didn't notice Mark Hamill was actually crying there. Didn't notice his tear.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh, sad.
It's one of my favorite scenes in the film and the series.
Oh, this is it. This is when they finally destroy the Death Star #2.
Yeah. Death Star 2.0.
Yeah, the other thing that was about Force Awakens is that it's basically Starkiller is basically Death Star 3, but it's like a planet as well, which is what I don't get.
Yeah. Yeah, I just love that. Yeah, I just love like when they're trying to escape the explosion. It's just so awesome.
This is a glorious moment.
Yeah. It was kind of funny in the Lego game when Darth Vader dies. Like, look, he goes into the ship and like the door flips Vader into the ship. I just love the way, like, yeah!
Yeehaw!
Yeah. And the Ewoks celebrating at the end. Right. I love in the special edition that you get to see all the planets celebrating.
Like even the Gungans, they're going, "Oh, we so win! Yay!" Like it's them, which is surprising. But there's closure here, which is nice.
Was it?
I only wish they had a happy ending.
Yeah. That's why I think they should have just ended it with this film. You like him, you love him.
Yeah. I mean, you could pretty much disregard The Force Awakens if you feel this is the perfect ending. So,
Why?
yeah.
No, I like The Force Awakens. I think it's a good film, but I just think, for me, this is the true ending of the saga.
Yeah. Force Awakens kind of feels like the start of a new saga as well.
Yeah. It feels almost like a reboot.
Yeah, like a kind of. I think also because Disney got their hands on it.
He's my brother. I just love that shock reaction, like, what?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, wait, he's your brother now? I can fuck you.
Just not when he's in the room.
I mean, I wish they did just stay together in The Force Awakens. Because, I mean, they've been through so much together over these 3 films.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking about the original ending, I prefer this much more to Yum Num. Yum Num's just a kind of crap way to end it.
This is nice. It's very
burning. Theaters.
I
Burning
wonder,
it.
how did Kylo Ren find the mask? How did he find this?
Yeah.
It wasn't explained.
I think it's a powerful moment as well. I mean, Last of the Time Lords just reminds me of this when he's burning the Master's body. It's like, did they just take this from Return of the Jedi?
This is a brilliant ending. This was the best special edition change that they made, as from what people said. Like, is this?
I agree. Like, you see Cloud City and all that.
City.
You see all the fun celebrating. I think it's just such a great way to end this film.
The music is so much better.
Yeah, I agree.
It's Tatooine.
It just feels more like the end of the trilogy at the end.
Naboo.
We set free!
We set free! Coruscant.
Yeah. I love the way they destroy the statue of the Emperor there. It falls over. They destroy it.
Yeah. What a lovely way to end this saga. Or well, this film, I should say.
I mean, I think it's a great ending. I saw somebody on YouTube who said he thought the ending to Return of the Jedi sucked. It was too happy and all that. But I'm like, what's wrong with it being happy? You know, the last film ended on a depressing note. Why not end on a happy note? You know, Save the Galaxy. It's a great ending. You know?
I love how they're drumming the stormtrooper helmets.
I just love the fact that everybody's just like, you know, they're so glad to see each other and they defeated this evil. I mean, you know, not all films have to end in a depressing way. I love the way it ends on a really happy note.
Wedge.
Yeah. They're all dancing and hugging and stuff. It's great. I really love the shot as well where Luke sees the ghosts.
Yeah, the ghosts. Yeah, Hayden Christensen. It is his best performance.
You know, I agree with some people said, why don't they just have Sebastian Shaw there instead of Hayden Christensen? Because it would have made more sense. Because, like, you know, Luke doesn't know what young Anakin looks like.
To be fair, it is Hayden Christensen's best performance.
Yeah.
Which doesn't say much.
I just love this bit at the end where they're all celebrating.
Da-dun, da-da-da-da-da. Woo! Bravo! Woo! This was really good. I really like that. That was very satisfying. Yeah, I would say Empire is the better film, but this is just satisfying in so many levels.
For me, it has been and it always will be my favorite Star Wars film. I mean, I remember rewatching these films a couple of years back, leading up to The Force Awakens, and I hadn't seen the films in ages. Like, I'd lost my DVDs of them, then I bought them again, and I rewatched Return of the Jedi and Empire. And I was thinking to myself, am I going to prefer Empire? But I watched Jedi again, and I'm like, nope, it's still my favorite. I mean, I think it's the most underrated of the series, and I just think
Yeah.
the reason why it's my favorite is because it's just such a great emotional climax to the film, to the series. You finally see them defeat the Empire. You have the reveal of the true puppet master, the Emperor. You have them defeat.
It's just the most emotionally satisfying.
Yeah, and it's just a great, and all the characters are like, you see everybody's story come full circle. You see Luke, you see him become the Jedi and trying to redeem his father, and then and then the Emperor is killed and Vader dies, and Luke redeems him. And I just love all this. I think it's one of the most, it's the most emotional. I think, what's great about it is just that all the characters get stuff to do. Han, Luke, Leia, they all get to contribute. Han redeems himself. It's just a great conclusion to the trilogy because everybody's story is tied up and it's done in a really emotionally satisfying way, and that's why it's my favorite of all the Star Wars films, of all 8 of them.
So, how would you rank the movies thus far? The 8 films so far?
I would say at number 8, Attack of the Clones, which is just can't stand that. Phantom Menace at number 7. I think there are good bits in it, but it's not great.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith at number 6.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the first Star Wars film I saw in the cinema, so I think it's good, but I think there's still problems in that film. There's still problems. But let's say number 5 would be The Force Awakens, just because it's a bit too derivative of A New Hope, but it's a good sort of, continuation of the saga. But they could have explained more. They could have explained about what happened, and there were some things in there I just think could have been better, like the plot and the villain.
But it was entertaining.
Then I would say number 4, Rogue One in the middle. Rogue One thinks a great prequel. It's the best of the prequels, and it's the best. And it's a great, and I think it's really great, how we see how Death Star plans were stolen. Yeah. Then number 3 would be A New Hope. I think that's a great start to the trilogy. Just not my favorite. It's just not as deep as the other 2.
Yeah.
Then number 2 would be Empire Strikes Back. I really do enjoy that film. It is a great, and then of course you got the great twist at the end. But yeah, number 1, Return of the Jedi, just because it's such a great wrap up to the trilogy, and it's the most emotionally satisfying. And to me, this film, even though we're getting more Star Wars films than we have in Force Awakens, for me, this is the true ending of the saga. I mean, I'm happy to watch Episode 8 and Episode 7, but for me, this is kind of where Star Wars
ends.
It's kind of, it ends for this kind of where it ends for me. But I'm happy to watch the new films. I mean, I hope the Last Jedi that Luke doesn't become a Sith or Luke doesn't die. I just hope that in the future they, when it comes to episodes, 8 and 9, that Luke doesn't die and that the Jedi do return. Because this is called Return of the Jedi. How do we go from Return of the Jedi to The Last Jedi within 2 films? It's kind of weird. But I mean, hopefully they'll explain it.
Yeah. Well, as for me, I'd probably rank the movies as follows. A bit different to your list. 7 would be the Phantom Menace. No, sorry, number 8 would be the Phantom Menace. Fucking plot was terrible. Then Attack of the Clones. Then Revenge of the Sith. Then number 5 would be The Force Awakens. 4, Rogue One. 3, A New Hope. 2, Return of the Jedi. And 1, Empire Strikes Back. But the top three are like 10 out of 10s easily. Rogue One is close, but no cigar. Rogue One is a 9 out of 10, a very strong 9. But yeah, that will be our next Star Wars commentary. We'll be doing Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So stay tuned for that, guys. So yeah, Jack, is there anything you want to say before we close off? Because I do have to go.
Just that it's been fun doing this commentary and you know, get to talk about my favorite Star Wars film, and yeah, I'm looking forward to doing the commentary in Rogue One whenever we do that.
Yeah, I'll be in touch. We can talk about it. But yeah, I'm going to close this off now as we are almost at the very end. So I'm Mr. Thomas 11. This is Jack McCullough. Thank you for watching and listening, and may the Force be with you.